Good evening and thanks for joining us. The Ontario Provincial Police are still searching for a man who went missing on the shore of Lake Superior around 5:30 Saturday night. Two people experienced trouble while cliff diving into waves that were nearly 10 feet high at the Silver Harbor Conservation Area. Two men sea-dooing managed to pull out a female from the water and help resuscitate her before she was brought to hospital. Men say there was no question they needed to help when they heard people might be drowning. Jamie Troon and Guy Carrier acted on instinct when they heard a woman was drowning off the shore of Lake Superior. The two men went to Silver Harbor Conservation Area to ride their Sea-Doos. They returned to shore to fix Carrier's Sea-Doo when they were told a woman was in the water drowning.
So instantly, me and my friend we hopped on my Sea-Doo and took off out there, and we found a lady out there face up, and we grabbed her as quick as we could and we hauled her to shore.
I don't know, he did a really good job getting us back there, and I was just holding on to her. I didn't want to let her go away. So.
Laura Rakowski was enjoying a picnic with her family and friends when she saw the two men on Sea-Doos pull up to shore. She watched as paramedics took over and brought the girl into an ambulance.
But from what I saw, there was no response when they lifted her up onto the stretcher. Her arm was just flopping by her side.
The female, whose name has not been released, was taken to hospital. Her condition is still unknown at this time. Carrier and Troon heard that there was a man still in the water, so they hopped back on their Sea-Doos and searched for more than an hour alongside emergency officials to help find that man.
It didn't matter how big the waves were. It didn't matter what was going on. We just jumped back into the water onto the Sea-Doo and drove back out there, and didn't find anybody the second time.
There's somebody else out there that was drowning there, and we just wanted to help out, and that's what I'm hoping anybody else would do if one of my family members was to do the same. So.
When we spoke with OPP officers earlier, they said they would be out until the sun went down Sunday night.
We need to exhaust all the opportunities that we have available to us today.
The Ontario Provincial Police have informed TVT News that a dive team will be in early Monday morning to continue with recovery efforts. The man who is missing is described as being 32 years old. He's 6 feet tall and weighs around 180 pounds. The OPP Marine Unit is also conducting a second search in the Silver Falls area for a man who went missing in the water there. 4 people were canoeing on the Kaministiquia River between Silver Falls Road and Forbes River Road. Police say they were advised of that canoe capsizing around 7:30 Saturday night. 3 occupants of the canoe made it to shore. A 32-year-old man didn't. The search for that man began Saturday evening and continued throughout the day Sunday. A dive team is being brought in Monday as well to assist with recovery efforts there. The investigation is ongoing, and we'll have more details as that story unfolds. Well, the Fort William First Nation is making moves towards sustainable training and job opportunities for its band members. Almost $5 million of the First Nations funds are going towards the building of new roads and infrastructure. The band is using the project to prepare for new opportunities while bettering the lives of its members. Nate Jones reports.
It's a project that was started over a year ago, and it will take another year to complete. Members of the Fort William First Nation Council say it could have been wrapped up in a matter of months if contracted out. But then there wouldn't be over 40 new jobs for their people. The extra time allowed for workers to be trained, and now they have the skills to apply to new projects.
We took a little while there building up our capacity, but we've now got our capacity built up pretty good. I'm confident we could take this show on the road. We can go do this in other communities, and we're going to try to see, and I'm confident we can take this to do other projects.
Just over 16 kilometers will be paved and resurfaced along Mission Road. Along with that, there will be new sidewalks and curbs, as well as upgrades to sewer. The $4.8 million project is using $1.8 million of crushed rock from the reserve. Council members believe there is about 30 years of life in the rock quarry, which opens up another market to capitalize on.
When looking at self-sustainability, I mean, you need to be able to put various measures in place, and you need to look at sustainable options. And when it comes to the construction division, there is a market for it. There is an industry for it, and Fort William First Nation is definitely ready and willing to jump on that and start capitalizing on that.
As part of this project, leadership in the community was looking for ways to help those who were struggling with addiction issues.
Before they can even work on the program, they got to take a drug test and they got to be clean. And it helped my family. I had a couple of people that were on drugs and they passed the test and now they're working.
Bannon says that these new opportunities have led to the end of social assistance for these new workers, while instilling a new sense of pride. The band hopes to have all roads on the reserve paved and completed within a year. Nate Jones, TBT News.
The number of active fires in the Northwest continues to dwindle. Officials say below-average temperatures contributed to the below-average fire season throughout the region. Now the end of the forest fire season is in sight, with less than 20 active fires remaining throughout the region. The season saw a significantly lower number of fires, and the fire hazard continues to sit at low to moderate. Red Lake Fire 31 registered as the largest fire in Ontario for 2013. It's currently labeled as under control.
I think it was just one of those years. We had a couple nice weeks of really great weather, and then it would die off and we'd have a few days of rain, and that seemed to be our pattern this year. Across Canada, the weather patterns were pretty extreme, with lots of flooding this year and not so much forest fires. So it was just one of those years, and next year will be a whole different ballgame.
With the black bear hunting season beginning last week, MNR officials are asking hunters to be aware that there may still be fire rangers working in their area. New Democrat MP John Rafferty says he's willing to put partisan politics aside and work with the new Conservative cabinet minister, Greg Rickford. 1 month ago, the Kenora MP was named Minister of Science and Technology and minister responsible for FedNor by Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Rickford has also been chosen as the federal government's point man for the Ring of Fire development. Rickford was in Thunder Bay this past week for a pair of functions, one of which was attended by Rafferty. Although he doesn't agree with many of the Conservatives' moves in the past few years, Rafferty says he'd like to work with his neighboring MP for the good of the Northwest.
It's nice to see Northern Ontario back at the cabinet table. I mean, it's not an NDP government, it's a Conservative government, but back at the table nevertheless. And I think that Greg Rickford and I, over the last 3 years, have developed a good relationship. So as critic for FedNor, I expect that rather than seeing negativity coming from me over the next 2 years as to what should be getting done, I think you'll find that I'll be working with Minister Rickford.
Well, there wasn't a shortage of furry, cute, and well-trained dogs at Chippewa Park today. The annual Thunder Bay Agility Dog Competition offered up tricks that were done right out of a movie. There were a variety of different dogs from across the region that attended. Each one was tested on its agility, how quickly it could maneuver inside the tunnel, jumps, planks, and weave through poles, to name a few. Michelle Schulski and her 11-year-old shepherd dog, sheepdog, Jazz, earned a national championship award called Natch. The award's given to a dog that accumulates a specific amount of points in their lifetime. Schulski is part of Thunder Bay's Agility Dogs Club and attends the trials every year. She trained her dog, Jazz, since he was 7 months old.
The relationship, it's a team relationship between me and my dog. And then the people that we meet along our travels, they become part of that dog community. We have dinners together, we have barbecues together. When we have trials, we go out to eat together. And it was, we walk into the Family Dog Center in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and we're greeted with hugs every time we show up.
The event wrapped up earlier this afternoon. In the city of Thunder Bay, there are no walk-in doctor clinics open on Sundays. For our question of the day, we wanted to know if you thought this was a problem and if it's ever caused a problem for you.
Being a doctor is providing a service to the community, and the service includes Sundays as well. You can't just say, well, I'm a doctor, I don't have to work on Sunday. I get sick 7 days a week. They should have to work 7 days a week as well, because that's the field of profession that they chose to be into.
Doctors take a Hippocratic oath, and it seems to be the biggest joke of the century, because ultimately they don't care anymore. It's just go to work, get your paycheck, come home.
Because, you go to emergency sometimes on Sunday, and there are so many people there that you will be waiting there for hours and hours. So if it's a walk-in clinic, like a walk-in clinic on Sundays, and if for any reason it's closer to your neighborhood or whatever, you can go there and it will make things easier.
Well, I know quite a number of people who live on the south side of the city who travel by bus, have small children, and it's really tough for them. Even now, to get to the hospital on a Sunday, they have to take a bus or a taxi if it's at night. It's really expensive for them. I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful if there was even a 24-hour walk-in available somewhere in the city?
Lots of football this weekend. CFL was going on.
Indeed. Week 8 in the CFL wrapping up tonight with a pretty good football game as well as NFL preseason.
Yep.
So all that and more coming up after the break.
Collaros out. Two backs, Robinson in motion. And Collaros will throw it. Jacob Robinson wide open. And a touchdown.
Toronto Argonauts were in action this weekend. Pretty big news for them.
Indeed, yeah. Off to a good start. Big
definitely.
news. Do you know something I don't?
No, kind of.
Oh, okay. It was a beautiful night at the Rogers Center. Let's get to it. Toronto Argonauts have done something for the first time since Doug Flutie donned the blue and white. Yes, the Argos have strung together 3 straight double-digit wins. They haven't done that since 1997, maybe what Cheryl was alluding to. Okay, Toronto also got a surprise visit and speech from former Argo great Mike Pinball Clemens. I had the privilege of actually having him speak to my class at broadcasting school, and oh boy, can he motivate you. The team said it was what they needed to stay focused, especially against an Edmonton team that's coming off a heartbreaking 30-29 loss to the Ticats last week. Early first quarter, Zach Collaros in for Ricky Ray on short yardage play action, rolls out, dumps it off to Xander Robinson. But the thing is, he has all kinds of daylight. Big man down the sidelines, goes all the way for the TD. 45-yard major puts the Boatman on top 7-0. Second quarter, now 9-7 Edmonton. Ray looking end zone for Jason Barnes. That's an 8-yard touchdown, puts the Argos back in the lead. It's 14-9. Quick shot there of that beautiful night in Toronto. Late first half, Mike Riley had a heck of a game. Looks deep for Fred Stamps in double coverage. Stamps hauls it in. That's a 45-yard pickup after Toronto offside penalty. Riley finds Kerry Koch in the back of the end zone for the major. 4 yards officially. Koch does a good job not to bail on the cement, makes it 16-14, but the Argos would add a field goal to lead by 1 at the half. Third quarter, Ray picks up where he left off. Has a wide open John Childs. Ain't gonna miss that one very off him. That's a 31-yard touchdown toss. Nice grab as well. Argos up 24-16. Later in the quarter, now 26-16. Ray finds Chad Owens for the 6-yard major across the middle. Owens takes exception to the hit from the defender. He got flagged 15 yards for that. Look out, he is an MMA fighter. Nah, just jokes. Eskimos launched a late comeback, but the Argos hang on to wins 36-33 the final. That's 4 in a row. In other CFL news, the shakeup continues in Winnipeg. Today, the Blue Bombers announced that offensive coordinator Gary Crotton has been fired. The news comes after a 37-18 loss to Hamilton on Friday that dropped Winnipeg's record to 1-6. Crotton will be replaced by former Tiger Cats head coach Marcel Belfoy for the remainder of the season. To the NFL, the Colts visiting the New York Giants, week 3 of the preseason action. A little Madagascar reference for those of you that don't know. First quarter, 3-0 G-Men. Andrew Luck, quick hitter to Reggie Wayne, casually reaches up with the one hand, hauls it in. He should go over the 1,000 reception mark this career for this season, making it look easy. Same drive, it's Wayne again.
Luck it's in the air and caught for the touchdown by Reggie Wayne.
Oh, man, you gotta be kidding me. An outstanding catch on a pass that should have been picked, but it's 10-3 Indy. Second quarter, Luck drops back, looking to the corner of the end zone, finds T.Y. Hilton, who also makes a crazy good catch, brings it in, then gets both feet down inbounds. The 18-yard touchdown puts the Colts on top 17-3. They'd go on to win this one 20-12, the final. To the track where a year ago, the Canadian men's 4x100-meter relay team were robbed of a bronze medal at the London Olympics. Today, there was a measure of vindication for the team at the World Track and Field Championships. And the other story was, of course, Usain Bolt. The Jamaican was looking to go 3 for 3 in top podium finishes and tie Carl Lewis in the process for the most gold medals in the history of the Worlds. On the final turn of the race, the Americans were leading, but a sloppy exchange allowed Bolt to race into the lead, and nobody's going to catch the world's fastest man. Bolt wins his 3rd gold medal of this year's championships and 8th overall. The Americans finished 2nd. Canada finished 4th. But watch on the replay, Great Britain made their last exchange outside the zone. They got disqualified for that, which bumps Canada up to the bronze medal. It's the 5th medal for Canada, which is the best performance ever at the World Championships for this country. On the diamond, the Athletics doubled up the Thunder Bay Wolves 12-6 in senior men's action tonight. Justin Tugas checked that, had 3 RBI to pace the A's. Meanwhile, Max Scherzer has his major league leading 18th win of the season. The Detroit Tigers right-hander allowed 2 earned runs through 8 innings in a 6-3 win over the Royals tonight. Miguel Cabrera added his 40th home run of the season for the AL Central leaders. Also today, the Jays looking to avoid losing a 20th straight series in Tampa Bay. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. The Rays mascot having some fun with Kevin Pillar before this one. He kind of looks like the Lorax. St. Petersburg native Todd Redmond got the call for the hill on the Jays. It's the first time he started in his hometown, but it doesn't start well. Bottom 1, Evan Longoria takes Redmond deep and gone to the opposite field. The solo shot is his 24th of the season. Mama Redmond not impressed with that. It was also Pooch in the Park Day at Tropicana Field today. Bunch of dogs taking in the afternoon affair. Bottom 5, Escobar drives one to the gap in left center. Pillar and Anthony Gose both trying to make the grab. They come together. Gose had it for a second, but it was knocked away by the body of Pillar. Those two not on the same page despite playing most of the season in AAA together, but they would be okay. Still 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th, but Edwin Encarnacion changes that. Launches his 31st long ball of the year to the left. Solo bomb ties things at 1. Just the second hit of the game for Toronto. Top 9, Double E appears to do it again, but the ball goes off the top of the wall and then stays in play. Brett Laurie thinks it's gone. There was no review. Encarnacion had a double on the play, but he was stranded. To extras, bottom of the 10th, Jose Lobaton had the walk-off hit on Friday against the Jays, and he does it again today. Hammers the Brad Lincoln offering over the fence and right as the Rays walk off the Jays 2-1 the final. In other somewhat sports-related news today, the great one is going to be a father-in-law. Yes, Wayne Gretzky's daughter Paulina announced on Twitter last night, that she's engaged to PGA golfer Dustin Johnson. From the picture I saw, it's a pretty big rock. Not gonna lie, not too shabby to have the greatest hockey player ever as your father-in-law, except Johnson might have to let him win on the golf course every now and then. Here are your misplays of the week.
Yonder Alonso just flat drop a ball that, most 8-year-olds are going to handle.
Remember when you were a kid and you had that type of play in Little League? You hit it back to the mound and they start throwing it around and you can circle the bases and you said, hey, Mom, I hit a home run today.
Oh dear, Jordan Archer. It's a moment to forget as quickly as possible for him, unfortunately.
A little soft liner, and the bat goes flying right at Sogard and knocks him down after he makes the catch. I have never seen this before.
Bautista didn't see it, still doesn't see it. Fan down the right field line. Looks like he's John at Bautista, and Jose says, just sit down, please.
Here's a bad snap from Berger to Castle. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't have caught that snap.
That's funny. Kyle Seager makes a play on this, and he goes to a full arm fake. Who is he going to throw it to? This is great. He arm fakes right at Sean Rodriguez. Who is that throw going to?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of ketchup on that Permane sandwich.
Somebody spilled their fries there right in front of the ketchup.
Iglesias tried to bunt, and that ball got him where? Oh, my goodness. Hope it didn't hit him where I think it hit him. I think it did. And if it did, it's going to be a while before Jose gets to his feet. Okay, one look's enough.
Those are good. Cheryl really enjoys those.
Ketchup. I do enjoy
the ketchup on the fries. That was your
Yeah.
favorite one out of all of that?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Those heads were good. Couple warm days heading our way. We'll have weather after the break. Today started off a little bit cloudy, but by the time we hit the afternoon, early evening, the weather got beautiful. Skies cleared. Temperature got
Beautiful.
up to 22. Humidex 25. Gorgeous weather.
And some more coming?
Some more coming. We'll get there in a sec, but let's see what's happening across the country right now. Vancouver is at 21 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Prince George 17 with a mostly sunny sky there. Edmonton is at 17 with lots of clouds overhead. Calgary right now 25, mostly sunny sky. Saskatoon and Regina just a couple degrees cooler. In Winnipeg it's 22 with a mostly cloudy sky. Churchill sitting at 10 degrees right now with clouds in the sky there as well. Heading into Ontario, Toronto's at 21. Ottawa, Montreal 18. Quebec City 20 degrees with clear sky in those cities. Fredericton right now is 16, same conditions in Halifax. Charlottetown is 17 with a mostly cloudy sky. St. John's 16 degrees, mostly cloudy as well. In our region, temperatures overnight are going to be, again, about 5 degrees above seasonal for what we should be seeing this time of year. We should be right at the 10-degree mark. We're in the mid to high teens throughout the majority of the region. Across the North Shore, a little bit cooler. Marathon and Sault Ste. Marie will be 12 and 13 degrees. Expect to see some rain and chance of thunderstorms throughout the region overnight this evening. Heading into tomorrow, that'll carry on just through the morning, but as we get into the afternoon, it should clear out again. Temperatures up in the high 20s, 30 degrees in Kenora and Sioux Lookout, 31 in Fort Francis. Temperatures looking nice and warm, quite a few degrees above what we should be seeing for this time of year. Right now in our city, still sitting at 22 degrees, so nice and warm, mainly cloudy. The wind's coming out of the southwest. 9 kilometers an hour, gusts up to 30 kilometers an hour. As we head overnight, we're going to go down just to a low of 15 degrees. We do have about a 60% chance of showers overnight. We'll see that more in the wee hours of the morning. Wind's going to come out of the west-southwest, 11 to 22 kilometers an hour. Heading over the next few days, expect to see that 60% chance of showers tomorrow morning. There is a bit of a risk of thunderstorms Tuesday. 28 degrees, could go all the way up to 32 degrees. Low of 16. Wednesday, we have a 40% chance of showers there. By the time we hit Thursday and Friday, temperatures drop just slightly, but the sun comes up to play again. Sky clears out. No more rain. No more showers.
Showers.
Whatever. I
Showers
misspelled a
on
word.
Tuesday. Yeah, but it's a little bit of rain, but again, no, I'm just bugging.
Hey.
But a little bit of rain, nice temperatures though, so hopefully we don't get too much rain.
Definitely good week ahead. There is going to be lots of humidity for the first few days, though.
There you go.
So be sure to prepare for that. That is all the time that we have for tonight, though. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.